attorney assigned to you at no cost. Mr. Serator, it's my understanding that Mr. Varga filled out a indigency form at the Strongsville jail. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. I'll be bringing it over to the court after the hearing today.
All right. So we're going to declare you indigent for purposes of this proceeding. We've assigned Matt Serator to your case. You do not need to make a statement here today because any statement you make can be used against you. If you are charged with a felony, which you are, you have the right to a preliminary hearing within 10 days of your arrest. At that hearing, I'd bind the case over to the General Division if I found that there's probable cause that a crime was committed and that you are the person who committed it. You have the right to a jury trial on these charges. You also have the right to a reasonable bail. Sir, do you understand the rights that you have?
Yes.
Okay. Before coming onto the bench, I did review the complaint and affidavit against the defendant on the charge of murder, the unclassified felony. He was detained without a warrant upon that charge. The court finds that there was probable cause for your detention. Detention was warranted, and I made that finding again today at 10:55 a.m. All right, so in 24 CRA 00797, you are charged with murder. It's an unclassified felony under 2903.02. Murders, unclassified felonies carry a life sentence with parole eligibility after 15 years and a fine of up to $15,000. In the CRB case, you are charged with domestic violence. It's a misdemeanor of the first degree. If you are convicted of that charge, sir, that carries a potential jail sentence of up to 180 days and a maximum fine of up to $1,000. Do you understand the potential penalties that you face?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Serator, does your client acknowledge receipt of the complaints that were issued in this case, and does he want me to read them into the record?
Your Honor, we'll waive the reading of the complaint. Mr. Varga and I discussed it prior to coming onto the record. At this time, I believe he would like to enter a waiver preliminary hearing and request to be heard on the issue of bond.
All right. Mr. Varga, is that your understanding that you are entitled to a preliminary hearing in this case, which I indicated to you? Your attorneys indicated that you were going to waive your right to a preliminary hearing. What that means is that upon waiving your right to the preliminary hearing, the case would automatically be transferred to the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas for further proceedings. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that your desire to waive your right to a preliminary hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Serator, has the waiver been signed?
It has, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll find that the preliminary hearing was waived here in open court and on the record, and in writing the case will be bound over to the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. All right, on the issue of bond, I know, Mr. Serator, you want to be heard. I'll hear from you first. I should also indicate, and I apologize for not indicating this sooner, Daniel Swisher is present from the Olmsted Township Prosecutor's Office. So I'll start with you, Mr. Serator. What would you like me to know in regards to bond?
Just briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Varga is 63 years old. I believe he has 0 criminal cycles on his record, so he has absolutely no criminal history. He's a permanent resident of the Northeast Ohio area. He's born and raised in this area. All of his family is here in the area. His children and his grandchildren are all in this area. He is currently retired, Your Honor. Before that, he had been a long-time employee of NASA. So he's always been gainfully employed. I do not believe, based on those facts, Your Honor, he poses any sort of a flight risk. We understand that it's a very serious charge. We're not going to go into the facts of the charge of this hearing, obviously, Your Honor, but I do think there's a lot more in the situation than what's reflected in the complaint. And I know that Mr. Varga is currently contemplating investing in his own defense and an attorney. So based on those factors, Your Honor, I ask the court for the lowest possible reasonable bond.
All right, thank you, Mr. Serator. Ms. Swisher, did you want to be heard on bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Based on the serious nature of the offenses charged, we would request at least $1 million bond at this time. Just so that you are aware, the family members are here. Denise Varga, mother of the victim, and John Varga, brother of the victim and son of the defendant.
Did any of the family members want to make a statement?
Denise, did you still want to speak?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Yes, Denise Varga. I would like to say in the issue of bond, I believe this is a very isolated family incident, and that the accused is not a risk of endangering others outside, and that he also does not pose a flight risk. Even though, yes, these charges are very serious, I believe it was very isolated to domestic incident.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to set a bond at $1 million cash or surety, given the nature of the charge. If you do happen to make bond, sir, if you are able to make that $1 million bond as a condition of your bond, I'm going to order that you wear a GPS monitor. So the case will be sent to the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. Because you waived your right to a preliminary hearing, the bond has been set. You will see a judge within short order who will re-review my bond. Do you understand that, Mr. Varga?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there anything else, Mr. Sterator?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Fisher?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So,